everyone. It's Happy Friday, and I've got two great guests with me today. Both, ironically, Mike. You've got Mike Hatcher and Mike Manera. So, starting off with Mike Hatcher, how are you, mate? You all right? Oh, Mike's on mute, I think. So we'll start with Mike Manera. Mike, how are you, mate?
I'm good, dude. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
You
It's
good?
Friday. You know, the best day of the week, isn't it, mate? Friday.
Boom! Weekend coming. Let's make it happen. Party time. Yeah, I'm down with the groove. I'm way too old to say that sort of nonsense, aren't I? Really? But there you go.
There
Um,
you go, mate. There you go. I mean, yeah. So, how you been? Anything interesting going on?
what's been happening? Yeah, quite a lot, but nothing that you'd want to hear about that'd be that interesting. And but yeah, all good, all good. Um, Generally, apparently it's going to get really hot over the weekend and be really hot next week, which I'm looking forward to, and get my summer shirts out, which I've been missing,
Good,
and
good.
and that'll be good. And yeah, looking forward to tonight and Nobes, the man.
Yeah, yeah. Noble. It's all things noble today. So, Mike H, how are you, sir?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm not too bad at all, mate.
Looks like you caught a bit of the Somerset sun there, mate. A little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. I did
Yeah.
watch a bit of cricket last week, so week
Ah,
before, yeah. So caught a little bit then, mate. Yeah,
great, great. And you're wearing a great shirt that typifies Noble, and I think I've got
this
one on as well.
you got yours on as well, mate. But this
Yeah.
is ready for Sunday. This is, mate. This is ready for Sunday.
Mike, Emma's let us down, but there we go.
I'm wearing my Where's Wally top, aren't I?
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to discuss Mike, sort of Mark Noble in this show, and then towards the end, we're going to ask everyone what they think, how the season's kind of went, and where we're going to finish. I think because it's kind of getting quite exciting, quite close. Obviously, won't talk about it too much, but last night's game was kind of very interesting in terms of atmosphere and what it meant for both teams. So for neutrals, I thought it was a fair watch. I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. A lot of interesting things happening in there. What I wanted to start off with was Mike H. When I mentioned Mark Noble, what's the first word that comes to your mind, mate? And yeah, what's the first thing you think of when Mark Noble?
I remember him when he was a kid and one couple of his first games, but I just remember that goal he scored against Leicester. For me, what a goal! What a strike! He scored a lot of goals and he scored important goals. I remember a penalty against Liverpool. Minute
Yeah.
when Carragher, I can't remember who he brought down. It was in the last few minutes, and he just slotted it away. And yeah, I thought because I remember him being like a top under 21 player, scored lots of goals for England under 21s, and we all just thought he was going to go on and play for England, get full caps. But it's just, it's the one regret, he must have, and all the fans. I wish he'd have got, even if it had been one or two caps, he just deserved it.
Yeah, we're going to go through all those stats line by line. I've got 3 slideshows ready. So, Mike M, first thoughts for you when I mentioned the name Noble for you. What does he mean for you, mate?
That pirouette he did in midfield every time he got the ball when he had a play near him. He used to, it's like almost ballet move. Do you remember? He'd get the ball and he'd drag it round with the other foot and just revolve. And the thing is, you knew he was going to do it. The other players knew he was going to do it. And he still got away with it. The only time they ever stopped him when they kicked him in the air, and it was a free kick to us anyway. But what that would do, just give him the time and space to pass the ball. Because he'd just move out and just bought him a few seconds to put his head up and have a look. And I was going to bring up that goal against Leicester as well. What a corker that was, Mikey.
Great.
You bang on right to talk about that. It was a scorcher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he was always a goal threat. I remember him as that sort of player. He was a proper all-round midfielder for me. Interestingly, do you think, can I ask a question, you guys' opinion on something? If we were at peak Nobes, which I think for most people, if you don't mind me saying, is probably around 2013 to 16,
Fire
would you
season.
say?
Fire season, I
Yeah,
think.
and maybe the few seasons before that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, 2013 to 2016, I would call peak Nobes. Would peak Nobes get into the first team now?
I think yes.
I think yes. I think yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, because especially with the season Souček's had for me, I think he definitely would. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Or you'd even change shape to accommodate him, wouldn't you, and do a 4-3-3? But yeah, you would definitely. But personally, I probably would. Peak Nobes, I'd put in ahead of Souček anyway. I agree with Dart this season. Just thought it was worth a thought, you know. Because I thought, and I think that says a lot about him. For me, I always thought he was a better player than the team around him was quite a lot.
I think there's a lot of turmoil, especially when you've been at West Ham since 2005 and that season. So yeah, a few relegations in there, a good few managers in there, and it can't be easy, you know. So you've seen the whole roller coaster, and he's always been, yeah, reasonably reliable, stable, professional. You know, there's no, as far as I know, there's not been any naughty stories about him. He's a family man. I think his wife is a school love going back that many years, and they all settle well. So I think he's just a bit like Brooking, isn't he, Mike? Dare I say, in terms of carrying himself?
Yeah, I mean, there's not many one club men left now, is there? I mean, he's probably going to be one of the last ones. I mean, he's, you know, his presence on the pitch, I think, you know what I mean, and peak Nobes, you know what I mean, the way I know he's, you know, progressed. And he's the man that sweeps the changing rooms out. You know what I mean? He's deservedly become the club captain. But
your audio's going a bit, Mike.
Is it? Do you want me to go back out and come back?
Yeah, go back in. Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, a bit in and out.
Because I lost you earlier. That's why I came.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. What do you call it, Mike? It's kind of crackling a bit. Yeah,
right.
A bit.
I'll leave it.
So Ricky, I wonder what kit. Which kit, Ricky? My one, or I like Mike's one. I like that kit. It's quite nice.
What, the red and white hoops?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Done the job, mate.
That often does it.
Yeah, I was just asking Ricky which kit you like, mine or yours. But I like Mike's kit. I think that's better.
Do you know what? This is one of my son's shirts.
Is it?
He's gutted. It's the big one, you know. Daz, I don't know if you remember Dan. He's the big one, you know.
Yeah.
Bigger one, so it fits me. The other two probably wouldn't fit me, but he left it behind.
Oh, he likes my one.
When he moved out, and it's mine now.
Ricky, I always pick up my kits towards the end of the season, and I think the home one this season, that's down to 35. I got an email earlier today. I picked up the Argentina one, 25, I think, a couple of weeks ago, Mike. So.
Yeah, I think I've got that coming for Father's Day.
Mike, you might know. You're a season ticket holder, aren't you, if I'm right?
Yeah.
Do we get a discount from the sale prices or not? I didn't get one last time. She said I would at the till, but when I got home...
I don't think so, mate. I think I've tried it on before, but I don't know if I've got it, to be totally honest.
Yeah. Steve, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Good evening, Mr. Jazzwinder. Good evening, Professor, and good evening, Nigel Worthington.
You all right, Steve?
I'm a bit late, Jazz, because I dozed off. I've had a right shit hard day today, believe it or not. So,
hopefully the weekend you can recover a bit, mate. We just.
Well, I was in work today, and they went to me. Your head's pouring of blood. I banged my head on the wall and didn't even realise.
I'm all right. You got to make sure you get that tested out, mate.
Yeah,
I'm all right. So, how are we all doing? How are you? All right?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, they're all getting along. What does Mark Noble mean to you, Steve? If I mention before we get into the details, what's Mark Noble for you, mate? When I mention that name,
well, it's very rare. You don't get like a one club man anymore, do you? So you know, he's been loyal and stuff. Obviously, ain't played a lot the last couple of seasons, but yeah, I hope he gets a good send off. And like you said today, the points are more important than my send off, which is, you know. Obviously, I think what really got him, I was there that day, that Burnley 3-0. I think that really got to him that day, you know, the support on the pitch with him.
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So,
But anyway, I'm
yeah.
going to show you a couple of information about him that we can go through, really. So, so Mark James Noble, born in May. So, recently had a birthday, born in 1987. 2 short loan spells at Hull and Ipswich in 06. He's played more Premier League games for West Ham than any other player, and he's won the club's Hammer of the Year twice. So, also got some more information coming up for him. So there we go. So he's played for England under 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, yet to be capped. And more importantly, just to be labelled 200% West Ham, born in Canning Town, about a mile away from the ground. And he did spend a time at Arsenal's academy, if anyone doesn't know. Well, the story goes that it was getting quite difficult for his father to take him there every day. And then he obviously found out West Ham were interested and, moved to his local boyhood team. Signed as a youth player in the year 2000. I didn't know about this. Youngest player ever, everyone, to appear in the reserve team, age 15 for West Ham. So that's interesting. And in 2020, he was rated as a player with the second highest penalty conversion rate in the world the last 20 years. 90.5%.
And so many people was on his back slagging him off for that miss against Man United.
Yeah, apparently, Lewandowski, I think, is the only one better than him. And then, made his debut League Cup, age 17. Let me just get rid of that badge so everyone can read it. In 2004, in a win against Southend. And league debut, January 05 against Wolves. This is another bit I didn't know. He's also eligible to play for the Republic of Ireland through his Cork-born grandparents. And because he represented England at every level, he kindly rejected that, I think, when approached. What do you guys think about that then, looking back? Like, he honestly thought he might, and then in the end, he didn't play. So what do you think about that then?
Well, you heard my thoughts. He was so good in the under-23s that I thought he'd have been the natural progression. He'd just go on and play, get himself a full cap, but it just never happened. And I think there's been a lot of players that have been nowhere near his level that have played for England over the last sort of 30 years. So he's been unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, Mike Manera, that Payet season, it was criminal that Hodgson didn't pick him for England, I felt. And everyone, what a very, very bad World Cup we had. And he was crying out for Noble in the middle. And I felt really weird watching that game, and it was 50% Liverpool, 50% Spurs, that team. So what, Mike M, would you like? He should have played, shouldn't he? He should have been picked by Roy.
Not only should he have been picked by Roy for that, but we had that conversation. Sorry, Ricky, before you came, I asked the question: would Noble peak Noble, say between 2013 to 2016? We're going to call that peak Noble, just out of the blue. Get into today's team, and we all thought he would get into the first team. I think peak Noble would get in today's England team. I actually do. I think he would have a really good shout at it, because at that point I thought he was, and that's with a good England team, a rubbish England team, and so he should have walked into it. And I never really got why he never got that opportunity. It's criminal that he never got to play for England, especially.
Oi, Colonel Pasta. The Colonel's here.
Colonel, your batteries are slow in your watch.
Colonel Casta.
I'm still an hour behind. What's happening, boys? You right?
Yeah, not bad. We're just discussing Noble and Mike H. Do you think he should have got into that England team as well back in Payet's season? That season as well?
Yeah, definitely. He deserved it. He deserved the chance. Yeah, I mean, others got in that were pretty mediocre. He should have got in, most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, like similar to Ward Price. Okay, a little bit better with the dead balls, obviously, but similar sort of player, really.
It's like you said. He does the things that go like they're not exactly like you don't notice a lot of the things. He does the simple things quite well. And when you watch that World Cup, just that Iceland game just come to my mind when we lost to Iceland. And
don't remind me of that.
you know, and he would have been good in that. And Steve, for you think he should have been in at least one cap for England, mate?
Yeah, that Iceland game, by the way, was in the Euros, not the World Cup, Jazz. Come on.
Yeah.
I was testing you, so it looks like your head's all right, mate. Well done.
Yeah, after cutting it today, yeah. No, it should have been the Payet season that he got picked. But just a little sidetrack. I tell you what, boys, if Bowen's not in the next England squad, then you know what I mean. Same kind of thing, isn't it?
Well,
it would be, yeah.
Yeah. What about for you, Ginge? Noble, what does he mean to you, mate? And we went through a couple of facts you missed, like he's a Canning Town boy, made his debut really young, mate, and been with us since the age of 11, and one of the best penalty takers in the world, record Premier League appearances for us, and then later on I'll show you where he stands within all-time appearances, really. So in the modern day, he's kind of a bit on his own, isn't he, out there as a loyal West Ham player?
He's a dying breed. People like Mark Noble are a dying breed nowadays. Obviously, Gerrard was another one in the modern era, but you just don't get them no more. You don't get that loyalty no more. And his passion, his drive, his hard work, his determination, all because he loves the club. But I think even if he carried on at Arsenal, I think he would still be the same sort of player. He would still have the same passion and drive and love. The love would be different, if you know what I mean. It would be love of playing football, the passion of playing football. Whereas at the minute, obviously with West Ham, it's a little bit different to that because he has genuine love and feeling. He's a forward fan. Like he said in his speech, he's lived most West Ham fans' dream, playing and captain for West Ham. And I think even before the Euros, even before the 15-16 season, I think he should have had a chance in the England squad before that. I think it was a good few years before that, though. And I caught the end of what Mike was saying there about I can't remember what I was going to say. I can't remember my own point. But yeah, the level of quality that he was playing with or up against, the likes of Dell. I'm not being funny, but Noble should be getting in the England squad, at least getting one cap over people like Dell. And there's loads of players in the England squad.
Yeah.
Either at least one or 4 or 5 caps that they shouldn't have really. But then him growing up especially in the late noughties, you had the golden generation, you know. You Gerrard, you Lampards. I think Scholes had already gone before then. But it was going to be hard to follow him in them sort of footsteps and get into that sort of squad because there was a massive fire street back then. I don't care what anyone says. You could only play for England if you were in the top 6 or mainly top 4. And if you didn't, then one of those top teams would buy you, and then all of a sudden you're in the England squad. It's happened to a few West Ham players over the years. They wasn't in the England squad when they was with West Ham, and because they got bought by a supposedly bigger club, they end up going and playing for England. So I think Noble absolutely deserves, and I don't know if any of you boys have got a ticket yet, but I'm actually contemplating buying a ticket to the Soccer Age at London Stadium because that'll be the first and only time you see Mark Noble playing in an England kit. And I think it's very fitting that he's doing it as he leaves the sport.
Well, was he ever linked with does anyone know? Was he ever linked with a move away from the club? I can't remember.
Apparently United wanted him.
Oh,
he could have gone United, but he chose not to.
I mean,
I think it's when we went down, he had a chance to go then, but he didn't go. So
yeah.
Correct.
Another thing that struck me is watching again his interview is the relationship between him and Rice. He's there as a guardian and kind of advice and I think he's helped Rice a lot in terms of how to think about football, loyalty, and no need to move yet.
A lot of players, you hear a lot of players, like even Payet. It was him. It was Nobes and Bilic, mainly Nobes, that put their arm around him and helped him. And from what I hear, I've heard loads of stories from people like Gabardon, Conch, because I played against them in a charity match, and I was asking them about how his nose, and that they literally all said the same thing. He's like a little figure at that training ground. Anyone new that comes in, any youngster, he's all over them. He's got his arm around them. He's making sure they're doing well. He's teaching them. So yeah, he's done all right. He's done good for himself.
Yeah. So I think Mike Monero, I think he's forget the football, because that's the appearances have been dwindling, but it's the all-round dressing room thing, isn't it? Around the club, the guidance. So I hope the club. Well, he's got a lot going on. I think he's got a lot of property businesses and other stuff. And I don't know if he wants to take a whole year out, but does anyone see him coming back doing his coaching badges or anything?
I thought he's already started doing them. I thought he'd already done several of them. And that's what I heard. I can't see him going anywhere else. I mean, Moyes has already stated he really wants him around the club, hasn't he? So I think he would definitely. I could see him coming back. Yeah, totally. I don't blame him for taking a break though for a year or so. I mean, he's been his life for that long, and maybe it's really good to put your feet up and step out of it, re-energize a bit, and come back in. I mean, managers do that, don't they? As it is. So I think it's a good thing for him. But I do hope he comes back, because he has got a lot to offer. Even this season, people have said don't underestimate the impact he has off the pitch. Even if he's not really having that same sort of impact that he did a number of years ago on the pitch.
I think going back to Bobby's statement, I mean, Billy Bonds is another one. I don't think he ever played for England. And I believe Phil Parkes, Mike H, has he got one cap? Or
yeah,
Phil Parkes played for England.
Yeah, Phil Parkes did. Billy Bonds played for under 23s, it was in those days. And he got a few caps for the under 23s, but he never got an England cap. But he was sat on the bench. I can't remember. It was a big game. And I think Greenwood might have been manager, actually, and he didn't bring him on.
Oh, I thought there's one where he was going to start and then he got injured, didn't he? And
but I think he was on the bench in one game and Greenwood just didn't bring him on. And it was such a shame. Yeah, I was gutted. I remember it quite well.
Same with Cresswell, or did he get a cap in the end?
He had a cap, yeah. Cresswell's got a cap, yeah.
He's had 3 or 4, Cresswell.
Yeah, he's had he's had 3 or 4.
So I remember him being in the squad quite a few times, but I only remember him playing once.
Yeah, I think he had 3 or 4 caps, like Mike said.
And was that on the back end of the 15-16 season, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's when him and Nodes both deserved it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a list of the Premier League appearances to start off with. So you've got, Noble, and this is quite up to date. This is up to this month. Noble, 412. Cresswell is second, 253. Carlton Cole, 216. Potts, 204. Antonio, 193. So he's way out there, isn't he?
Oh, my God, he's miles ahead.
Yeah.
No one's going to touch that, are they? No one.
Cresswell's obviously, I think he's coming to the end, so he needs another, 160 odds. So Carlton Cole, bless him, is retired. Antonio, 193, no way.
Yeah.
No, wow.
He'll catch
Oggy.
probably.
Oh, Oggy's in there. Oggy.
Well, if he was to stay, the one who'll catch him is Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
He doesn't get injured, does he, Dex? Touchwood. So.
Well, he's that young athletic.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's on 165. So he's got above Tompkins already, and Joe Cole and Fabianski and people like that. So wow, Rice. Yeah.
I mean, Declan Rice, if he stayed, and but I don't think we'll see that beat him, because I just don't think he'll stay for. He might stay there next season. I'm not saying he's going now, but let's be honest. At some point, who's going to be? And you both have said that whole thing about how is he going to? You're not going to see those kind of one club players anymore. It's an extinct breed. You both have all been saying it, and I agree with you totally. I just don't really see that happening now, unless someone like Ben Johnson becomes an institution.
I was going to say that, Mike. Ben Johnson's about the only one, I think. Yeah, that's got a chance, but Well, we don't know, do we? It's still early days for him. I rate him, but it's still early days.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think. I mean, even managers, they're lucky if they last a couple of years, or so it's kind of hard. This is the all-time list. So if we're saying Noble's 412, then hopefully, well, he's still way off like the top 5, isn't he? Martin's 596. I can't believe it. Alvin nearly did 20 years. Alvin. Mike Manera would say, "Get less for murder, don't you, mate?" Or something like that.
Yeah, he didn't have that, did he? I mean, and he picked his years, didn't he? But like, great player though. I mean, the thing you've got to look at there is that sheer consistency at the top level of all of those players. I mean, they were all, good, really good players, weren't they? Billy Bonds, Frank Lampard Jr., more booking. You're talking out two of the best players ever walked on a football pitch, for my money, and those two.
What's hitting me about that list, everyone, is how underappreciated Frank Lampard is. He's just not spoken about at all in terms of anything, and he shies away from the club, doesn't he? Yeah.
But in those days, they could go through a season that used about 16 players. They used to play every game. They used to play on these pitches. I only played amateur football, but some of the teams I played for, or the lower end of semi-pro sort of thing. I mean, we'd go for a season and we'd only use about 14, 15 players. And that's unheard of now.
None of this 25-man squad then, was it? Do you know what I mean? It's,
unbelievable.
One sub.
You had one sub, and that was it.
But we still get it nowadays when we turn up on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, one sub, and you don't use them because if someone got injured, that was it. You one chance. So you had to use them when you really had to.
It's all changed now because we get roll on, roll off in our league.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pathetic, but it is good when you've only got one club. So as it perks.
Look at the most FA Cup appearances, and you have Mr. Potts as the 5th highest. So you probably played in the time, obviously with Lila when we got to the semi-finals, a lot, quarter-finals, Potsy's ahead of a lot of players like Cotty and people like that because he...
went often in, come back, and
So I know it was the Players' Awards night, Monday, I think, and obviously he got very emotional. He actually had to stop 3-4 times if anyone saw the highlights.
Wasn't it?
He struggled a bit.
I think the bit where he said where he's not played as much for the last 2 years, been around and just been with the boys, and then he turns and says to the crowd, like, everyone give the staff and the lads a big round of applause for their season, and that got him. You can see that the proudness showing through, the pride in him.
Have you ever seen him, Ginge? You ever seen him?
Yeah, I've got a few pictures of him. Yeah,
okay. So
when I had my bonnet, well, that was a sore sight for us, isn't it?
We all remember that Spurs game we lost 4-3 in that escape, and he got obviously broke down, didn't he? And I thought we were down. Everyone did, didn't we?
Yeah.
But how the hell did they? Whatever they did, and I remember that. And he is a very emotional lad, and I like that in a person to show their emotion a bit. He's kind of human, and he shows it out there or whatever.
Shows how real they are.
Well, they've named the Young Hammer of the Year award, the Mark Noble Award. Everyone,
good, because what he's done for the youngsters coming through at this club, and I don't mean for the direct youngsters going from under 23 to senior. I mean even lower than that. He hangs around the training ground. He goes back over to Chad Relief. He's in and around the youngsters and constantly coaching them and telling them little things, tips, telling them little things that he's probably done to get through into the senior squad. Probably telling them little stories that he's seen other people do, the likes of Reece Oxford, Ben Johnson, and players like that, and probably just encouraging them. I think he's a great person, and from what I've met of him, he's top dollar, top bloke.
Yeah, great. Before we move on to the second topic of the show, Mike H, do you want to add anything to that, mate?
No, he's just he's a top man, you know. And you go back to remember when he lifted the United player, who was it? Herrera, was it? When he
picked him up and walked him off the pitch.
Picked him up and walked him off the pitch. Oh, I just loved that moment. I mean, that was unbelievable. And another one that classic was when he squared up the Pogba. You know, I mean,
Pogba, yeah, about to say that.
6'7", and he had it trying to get him nose to nose. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
What about you, Mike M? Any funny things you remember about him or things like that?
Those two spring to mind, actually. I was going to say the same thing, I think. They were brilliant moments, weren't they? For me, it was all about the pirouette and the passion, you know. That little pirouette he used to do to find space, I loved it. You see it coming a mile off, but he still got away with it. And
yeah.
And you know, he's just that just all action in the centre of the pitch. You know, that passion. You know, he'd crawl over a broken glass for the club, wouldn't he? You know, and you need someone like that in the team to drive them forward. You really need that kind of engagement and energy. Exactly the sort of thing that Man United don't have whatsoever this season. And without it, that's what happens to a team.
Yeah, I do remember this week his famous statement said that I've lived a dream of every fan, isn't it? I've played for the club that we all dream about. I think perhaps Ginger more than others. You've had the dream of playing for West Ham, mate. The long hair going down a wing, but he's
down a wing. No, never a winger. Never a winger. I'd either snap someone playing centre half, or I'd be getting snapped playing up top.
Yeah, Bob, we're going to answer that probably at the end of the show if we need to buy how many we need, and then obviously Noble. Not sure yet. Been no announcement. Is the academy named after him as well? I'm not sure. I think they've named something at the old ground after him, the training ground. We need Scott Parker. Well, great player. Left it all out there, didn't he? 3 Hammer of the Year awards. Great player. Yeah, hopefully we're getting back as an ambassador, as a coach, and doing other things.
He's definitely got to be.
Hi, Lawrence. You're right from Alabama. Yes, that's what I liked about him.
He was good at that. Very good at that.
Yeah. So taking it to the corner, isn't it, Mike, and falling over. And
yeah, just wait for that little nudge. I used to do that. Wait for that little nudge, and then you go.
See, I don't think this team does. It's not streetwise enough. This team, a lot of the things like this.
No, that's right.
Well, we saw a team in the red last night. They were thugs, too streetwise. Anyway, I'm going to go into the next topic. I want everyone to think about this season, how they feel quickly, and also then where do you think we'll finish? Because it's kind of all up in the air at the moment, and it suddenly appears as though we've got a sniff of 6th place, I think, with Man United. Yeah, we've got far superior goal difference than them. We're not going to catch our goal difference. We're kind of 9-10 goals clear. Wolves are 5 behind. So looks like, I mean, starting with you, Ginge, how have you enjoyed this season, mate? And where do you think they all end up for us, mate?
Do you know what? I've loved it. I've loved the season. Not really. I wasn't really too concerned about the domestic cups, the League Cup and your FA Cup. Before we'd even started, was it round 3? We come into it. So before we'd even started round 3, I was like, I don't care about the FA Cup because we was already in the quarter final against Spurs. I know obviously we ended up losing it. We didn't turn up for that one, but we got to the quarter final of the League Cup. We got through the group stages of Europe, and I was buzzing. By Christmas, I was like, this is great. The way we were playing football, the way we'd played all season at that point, where we were in the league. I think at that point we were 4th or 5th. And I just thought, yeah, this is great. And then the longer we went on in Europe, obviously we had that big spell between January and the beginning of March, I'd say, where we were sort of up and down. It was a bit like a roller coaster team. We had a few injuries. Didn't use the COVID rules very well, like every other team did.
Not streetwise enough, mate. I'll do a show on it, but I still believe, Mr. Trick, mate.
But we've done it all the legit way, and I wouldn't have it any other way, to be fair. And however much devastating and gutting and heartbreak it was for that semi-final, listen, we've got to be proud of the boys no matter what. They've done it single-handedly on their own, with no backup, no support. They've had no extra help coming in January. And they've just had to do every single game, every single competition on their own, with a guest appearance every now and then from a couple of youngsters or a couple of fringe players. But I think the rotation we've had all season of senior players is between 15 and 17, I think it is. That's crazy, considering you've got League Cup, FA Cup, Europe, the League. It's just crazy, but listen, we haven't won nothing. We've won exactly the same as Spurs, and that's fuck all, which is always a bonus. And as long as they don't win any more than us, then I'm happy. But,
well, we've had 2.5 good years under David Moyes. You remember when he came in and we had lockdown? We were touch and go if we're going to go down. So he somehow got us over that line. So it's been a long run of really good.
And this is why I think we just have to be a little bit more patient. I think the fans are now, especially after the first season. It was like, okay, Moyes, you've shown us something again. Now we get to keep you for another year and see what you do. And he carried it on. The players carried it on. And then everyone was talking about, it's all because there is no West Ham fans. There's no toxicity in the stadium. When someone makes a bad pass or gives a ball away, there's not the crowd there getting on their back straight away. And then we literally abolished all them rumours as soon as we started the new season, where we were allowed crowds in, and we carried on playing as if it was the last season. And listen, you can't underestimate what the coaching staff and Moyes have done, and even the players, and just keeping everyone's heads focused, everyone up for it, keeping that team spirit. So all credit.
What do you think we'll finish, mate?
Well, I've said, as you know, for months and months, even before Christmas or by Christmas, it was, when we started having that dip, I said we'll end up finishing 8th, and I've said that all along. But I can't see us finishing 8th now.
No.
Up until last week, where I think Wolves end up losing, and we beat Norwich 3-0. That's 4-0. I was like, well, that's 8th, and we're guaranteed. Not mathematically, but to me, we're guaranteed European football. It's not the European football that I'd like, but I don't see us getting.
I'll tell you, at one point, I thought we were not going to get that, mate. So I'll take it.
What I mean, yeah. I think that was the sort of reverse psychology negative comment that comes into my head that, we're going to finish 8th, we're not going to get no European football. It's the sort of, you know what, I've been like that for years. I do it in everyday life stuff. So it always seems like I'm negative, but it's reverse psychology. So I don't build myself up for disappointment, you know. So if it happens, it happens, and it's great. It's pure elation. But then if it doesn't, I'll be like, well, I thought I said that, and I thought I knew it was coming. So it doesn't hit as hard. But it's been
so you think 7th then, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think we'll get 6th. But it's been a great run, and hopefully we can just carry it on, get some decent bodies in. But we've got to be smart. Get some decent bodies in, recruit well, that's going to improve the team, but also boost everyone else as well, and not make people think, oh shit, he's going to take my spot, and then, you know what I mean, and cause friction, because some players are a bit petty like that. They're a bit worried about their performances and their spot. So if we recruit well, get decent mentality players in, and decent quality players, and people that can play multiple positions in the positions that we need as well. 2 strikers, definitely. Centre half, left back, another out-and-out midfielder, centre box-to-box midfielder we need, and a creative spark in between the lines.
Listen, transfer window, mate. My confidence is on the floor. I haven't recovered from January yet, as everyone knows. So
I don't know whether to bring out the book again, Jazz.
We'll see.
Full of 80 names from last time.
Listen, we're going to do it because we have to. I know Steve, my good friend, who I don't know what's happened to him, dropped out. He hates some rumours and especially the Lingard ones, that gets Steve well wound up. And I'm like, it is what it is, isn't it?
Sorry to deprive you two Mike. But Lingard, I'd still have Lingard because it was always going to be the same as January. They wasn't going to go and get him, and even if they was allowed to get him, they're too much of a penny pincher to spend 10 million or 15 million when they can think, oh, in 5 months' time we can get him for absolutely
nothing. Yeah,
that's it, and that's why they've done it with Sam Johnson. And I think it's a dangerous game to play because someone else can come in and go, thank you very much, we'll have that. Because there's already rumours about Johnson. Spurs are going after him.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's overseas. I think it might be the Italian league. There might be a couple of Italians looking at Lingard. So it's a dangerous game to play, but if it works, then it's smart business.
We'll see.
We're not at the age to be playing that sort of smart business.
Anyway, forget the window. We'll be here all night. Bobby, that's a funny one. I don't think you can get more than 4 in the Champions League, from what I've heard from a lot of people. I don't think you can. I think there's one. Yeah, Mike and Monero. There was that 1 year, wasn't it, mate? I think was it Chelsea. I don't know what happened. They finished 7th, won the league. Once I remember. I'm not sure now whether it's ever happened once or not. Can you remember? Or?
No, you can. You can have 5.
So
you can. But that's only if the team that wins the Champions League finishes outside the top 4.
Yeah.
Or
as you said, I think it was Chelsea actually did do that.
Yeah,
and that's what proved the case, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, that's the only time that'll happen. Yeah.
And if a Champions League winner was English and finished in the top 4, and we won Europa League this season and finished 7th, 6th, or even 20th, we'd still be in Champions League as well.
Yeah, there would be 5 then.
Yeah. And as of 2023, I believe it is, the start of the 2023 season.
Going to be 5.
Yeah, there's going to be 5 on performance.
Oh, there's points that go back to history and...
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's like a Super League undercover, isn't it? Wow.
That's exactly what they're trying to do, yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't think it's right.
Anyway, Mike M, come in, mate. Mike Monero, what kind of league season we've had and where are we going to finish, mate?
Okay, I'm going to keep it brief because I pretty much completely agree with everything Ginger's just said. I think he's bang on. But I will ask you, Jazz, to cast your mind back a good few months when the season was new, and we agree. I said to you, and you agreed, that we'd have had a good season if we got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League and finished 8th. We said that.
Yeah,
would you take 8 if it meant that we had a good run in Europe and got to the quarterfinal? Well, we got to the semi-final, and you're bang on, mate. I think 7th's where we're going to end up. I know Wolves can catch us mathematically, but they won't. I mean, we only need 1 point, and they would have to win both their games. So I can't see that happening. Do you know what I mean? Because we've got better goal from everybody else around us as well. So I think, I don't think we'll get sick just because look who we've got to play. We've got to play City, and then Brighton, who are our bogey team of the Premier League. I mean, if it was anyone but Brighton, I'd think, we'll have a go at this, and you never know. But Brighton, it would be Brighton, wouldn't it? A team we have never beaten in the Premier League era.
Mike, I think we've got 7 draws with them in a row or something silly like that. Yeah.
And it's like, I know I can see that being a draw. It'll be the draw gets the 7. But you know what? I am taking that. That is incredible. What a season. Ginge, you put it brilliantly. What a great, what a testament to the players, to the staff, the manager, to get another European campaign after having such a brilliant European campaign. I know sad we went out in the semi, but in a way, you've almost got to do that before you do go on and win it. I actually think, we go into that conference thing, we really should look at winning that.
I'm just even this season, Mike, being human, you get extra greedy and you just think maybe 2 bodies in January. And I know Red Baron's going to have a go at me, but if someone told you you got to beat Rangers to get Champions League or even, I still believe it about them for Eintracht Frankfurt, but it doesn't matter. They did their job.
I thought we were. I thought they got it tactically right. We lost that game not in Frankfurt. I know the player. Obviously what happened and everything. We lost that round in the home tie.
Yeah,
that's when we lost it. That's when we lost that. Okay, so I think it put us under too much pressure when we went away. And they're a very good counter-attacking team. They're not a great team. And on our day, on a good, better West Ham day, if we all were playing 10 out of 10 West Ham, would have been them.
Actually, before Cressy got sent off, and
we were the better team by a mile.
They were all over the place, mate. They were all looking nervous.
Yeah, we were the better team by a mile. But having said that, we could have been out there for another 2 bloody match lengths, and we wouldn't have scored a goal.
My catch-up just felt, when I saw that Noble overhead kick and the other, I just thought sometimes your name's on the cup, that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with both of the lads there, what I've said. I mean, if you'd have said to us at the start of the season, you're going to get to the semi-finals of Europa League and you're still going to be in with a chance of getting Europa League again in the last game of the season, which we are going to be, there's still going to be a possibility. I believe we'll probably finish 7th, like you two guys, to be totally honest. If anyone would have given us that, we'd have just bitten their hands off for it. We'd have just ripped their hands off for it because it's been a great season.
I think we're going to do something against City. I got this funny feeling with the
you never know. But the other thing was, we all moaned because we didn't sign another striker, and we all said it, every one of us. Antonio, is he going to last the season? Well, he's only got 2 games to go, and he has. And he has. And we all said it, and I said it, more than once. We need another striker because Antonio, his hamstring, they're going to go, blah, blah, blah. But, hey, I know we've moaned about, some of his performances, but the guy's been out there and absolutely run his nuts off and done more running than most on that pitch for no reward in a lot of the time.
I think he's, I've
knocked him as well. I've knocked him at times, but I honestly got to stand up and say, well done to every single one of the players. Well done to the backroom staff. Well done to Moyes. They've been brilliant to get us through that with a small squad. It's not their fault. I don't think it's their fault that they haven't had anyone else come in. Those players have just got together as a group and said, we're going to do this. We're going to do the best we can. And I think they've done phenomenally well, to be totally honest.
So have Frankie's 6th place. Yeah, Frankie, you never know. I just got this funny feeling. There's a few more dramas left, isn't there? I think,
I mean, Man United got to go to Palace. Yeah, that's a tough game. That is a tough game. And I know Brighton away for us, I'm not expecting anything against City. I'm going to be there and, hopefully it's going to be a great atmosphere and, we're going to at least give them a really good game on Sunday. But you never know. We might get a point in that. We get a point in that. We know then that we've definitely got 7th place. And then that takes the pressure off for the last game then. The last game then, going away to Brighton, we've got to beat the fuckers somewhere, surely. I went there in 1979 and I was in the away end. I wasn't the only West Ham fan in the away end that day. There was a bit of naughty stuff going on.
Golston ground.
The old Golston ground, in the late 70s it was. And we won, I think we won about 2-1 that day. My memory's not great, but I was there, Might have been to do with having a bit of a fuzzy head. But joking aside, we got to beat them somewhere. And we must be due, they play. They're the sort of team that we should be beating. They keep the ball, blah, blah, blah. And we break on them. I mean, no, not Plymouth. We can. Joking aside, I think we're due to beat them. So, you never know. You just never know.
You never know, and then we all think we've had a good season, and just got unlucky. Shame about the League Cup. We beat United, City, and then
You'd be very bitter to say that we've had a poor season because we've not won anything or we've not got into top 6 again or Champions League. I think that's very, very bitter and poor, if any West Ham fan that we've had a shit season. Because I think
I'll tell you something else, right? About how far this club has come on. And we all say again, we're not going to get anything out of City. I don't think we will get anything out of City. But I'll tell you something, City won't. won't be looking forward to playing us.
No.
Right? They know they're going to get a game. Yeah, they know they should win it, but they know they're going to get a game, and they won't be looking forward to it. They want to play someone easy. They want to play, I don't know, Southampton or someone at this point, don't they? Do you know what I mean? It's like the last team they want to come up against is us, probably, because we'll give them a proper game, and they know it, and that for me is one of the biggest the biggest thing Moyes has done for us, because we were always a soft. I was at the London Stadium. Do you remember when we played them twice in a week and they beat us 9-1 in combined scores? I was at both those games and it was just ridiculous. It was like,
is that the 5-0 and the 4-1?
Yeah.
It was
in the League and Cup. We had them twice in a week, and it was like, when you're playing as little kids in the park and big kids come along and start playing and you never get the ball. It was that. It was just like the worst thing ever. But that doesn't happen now. I mean, but if we played as well as we could possibly play, they will still beat us. They've just got better players. But we'll give them a game. And if they don't fully turn up, they play midweek, and maybe they don't, we've got a chance. But if they turn up, they've got better players. You can't get past that, at the end of the day. But we will give them a game. They won't be looking forward to it. They know it's going to be hard for them. And that's immeasurably good progress when you think, even just in London Stadium times.
We haven't been turned over, Mike Touchwood, since 2.5 years with David, and even with 10 men at Lyon, we held on 1-1, and even we lost to Frankfurt 1-0, but we held on just 1-0. So teams don't carve us up anymore, and we don't lose 4, 5, 6s Touchwood anymore.
Don't say that, because City have just put
5.
Yeah.
No, I think Deckers as an example, he's a brick wall. They haven't got anyone like him. And
I'll tell you what, you've got to remember them. They might be down to their last centre half.
Oh, yeah. They
won't.
Well, did you watch Did anyone watch? I watched the City Wolves game. I tell you, it was interesting because Wolves were really unlucky to have only scored one.
Yeah.
They were really unlucky. They should have had. City could have scored 10. You've got to say, De Bruyne hit the post twice. I think. I mean, they were absolutely having a field day in attack, but at the back they looked all over the place. City, and our Wolves contrived to only score one goal in that game. If they had finished 8-3, that would have been a realistic score for that game, wouldn't it?
No,
you know what I mean?
You're right.
It was ridiculous. But and now they've lost another centre defender. You know that Fernandinho is going to be in the centre of defence. And I'd love to see Antonio in a foot race with him.
But he pulled up with an injury as well.
Did he?
Yeah, he came off. He came off. Laporte came off.
Yeah.
I think Ake was the only centre half they had on the pitch at the end.
Brilliant.
I think that's another point. Man United have got the whole weekend. They've got 2-week break, haven't they? Yeah, not playing this weekend at all.
Not that it matters. They are just a mess. Having all those players and being that rubbish.
I don't think that means that they've got a 2-week rest. I think they mean that they've been that poor, they're non-existent in the league. So there's one more win for us, and we've got Europa League.
I think they'll lose at Palace. I think Palace have been very good this season.
Yeah,
I think if Palace turn up and play the game that they've been playing most season, they're at home. They'll want to see the fans off with it on a high. The manager really wants to finish on a high. And Man United turn up and say have been for most of the second half of the season, they'll get done. Well and truly.
In a reverse fixture earlier on in the season. Am I right in thinking Palace done them already this season?
I think so.
You might have a point.
I've got a feeling.
I know Palace have had some good results this season. They beat Spurs, they beat Chelsea.
Oh, good team.
Yeah, they are.
They're a good team.
Even under Hodgson. But they're
an all right team under Hodgson, but they never looked like going anywhere near that relegation zone this season, did they? They can. Their thing will be if they recruit well this summer, then you could see them pushing on and getting into the top 10 next season. I could see that happening.
Oh, it was 0-0. It was 0-0, Ginge.
What was it?
Not bad result, yeah.
That's probably it's probably one of Palace's off days, that was.
And we only lost 2-1 to City at their ground as well, so yeah.
And we could have nicked that.
We could have done. We could have done. I remember that. Yeah, we were good.
And if I remember rightly, Guardiola praised us after the game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, I was up there and the snow was coming down.
Oh, that's it. Should have been
And,
called off.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. When it got the snow, the pitch was white up to half time. And honestly, they were taking a mickey out of us when that pitch was covered in snow because we couldn't stand up. And they're like ballet dancers over the top of that snow. They was passing the ball around. Honestly, they was ripping us to pieces and for about 20 minutes. And because the snow had got quite deep in it, the pitch was absolutely white. Half time, they got all their staff on there and they cleared it. They did a hell of a job, I tell you. It was amazing. They cleared the pitch. And believe it or not, I thought, oh, no, that might make it even worse. But no, when we got some grass to play on, we give them a really good game then the second half.
That's the weekend, Mike, that Spurs fans went all the way to Burnley and they called it off, didn't they?
Yeah, remember that. Watching that.
And they've got to go there again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they have.
Mike, did you lose your electricity that weekend or something? Do you remember?
Yeah. We had a huge power cut up here in North. The mouse that runs on the little treadmill it got too cold. And that's bringing the emergency elastic band and wind that up and get that going. That's how we get it. It's all witchcraft with electricity.
That's a good point. Yeah, Patrick Vieira, he hates Man United. He'll wind them up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he'll be up for that. He'll have them up for that.
Oh, they'll be really up for that. I don't doubt it. And I can see him doing it. I'm not particularly. It's just whether we can get the 3 points. We win one of those games. I think we get 6th. I genuinely think that. But I think my problem is I don't think we'll win either of those games. And if we don't, do you know what? Long season, I understand it. 7th, though, is great. At least win Europe again next season.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Getting back-to-back European competitions under our belts. Obviously, it's not ideal being Conference League because we all know they only made it for a team in North London.
I don't want those teams dropping down like, Champions League to Europa. I don't believe in that. It's not fair on the original teams who've started playing way before then and that kind of thing, really. I don't know. And for some reason, we winning the league and the Europa, I don't know why we ended up with 2 games where the second leg was away. That's a big disadvantage, second leg being away in Europe.
See, what they should have done, I don't mind them pre-drawing and whatnot, so you know who you're going to get.
But how do we end up with Lyon, Sevilla and Eintracht? What kind of reward is that? They're the best teams left, aren't they? One after the other.
Yeah. We could have ended up with Barcelona, Judge.
I wanted that, actually. I wanted that one. Yeah, I wanted that one.
You can only say that though in retrospect, can't you? Because I would have said Dortmund were the best teams left in it. Rangers absolutely thumped them. Right, okay, well that's the end of Dortmund. But if we were facing Dortmund, we'd have been, oh God, how have we ended up playing them? They're one of the best teams in it. Come on, it's what. But West Ham did well. They played, and beating Seville was incredible. I thought that they were one of the red hot favourites for it. Just showing we can go to places like that, or what they called in Croatia in the first game, and just bossing it in that hostile environment as well was just Dinamo Zagreb, wasn't it? And just bossing that was just, they were proper hostile, and they're a reasonable team. They were a pretty good team. So I just thought we showed that winning mentality, and again that thing about other teams don't want to play us now. We're not going to get our tummy tickled and roll over, and I like that about us. I like the fact we can play football, but I like the fact there's a bit of steel. Red Band. Well, Rangers unbelievably done so well.
Wow.
And that's amazing. And obviously, I'm going to be supporting them in the final.
Rangers winning. I really do.
They've had a lot of injuries as well, haven't they? They've lost a lot of people.
Either the Scots or the Germans, and you've got to back your British club.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they sold a fullback, didn't they? In January, they've lost a couple of strikers, including.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I don't know how the hell they've done it. Wow.
They've still got decent players, though, even though they're some out injured, and they've had to bring in others in. I think that the players, the personnel that have come in for those suspended or injured players have come in and done all right, and they're not your usual starters for Rangers. And I think they've for the whole club, especially considering obviously it's been a disappointment losing the league to Celtic again. But they're in a major European final, and they could end up winning it. So fair play to them. Good luck to them. They've got some decent players.
It'd be brilliant if the thing for Rangers as well, they get in the Champions League. The money just for qualifying for that, it's a game changer in that league. So yeah, absolutely, right. But no, I think I'm good luck to them. I really hope they do. It'd be great to see a team like Rangers in the Champions League. There's no qualifying, you go straight in, and the money you get for that. But better all, a European trophy going to Scotland. How cool is that?
That's
Do you know
it,
what I mean?
yeah.
That'd be great. It's seen as a minor league. I'm not being patronising. It's just how it's viewed. Minor. I'm not saying it is, but how it's viewed. And someone from that going through, doing well and getting into a European final and hopefully winning it is brilliant. So fantastic.
I think so, and I think Ginge with his Celtic hair colour, he'll be great up there, wouldn't you, mate? Up north.
Yeah. Not up there.
He does look a bit like a wildling. I don't know if anyone's ever watched Game of Thrones, but he's definitely got a bit of wildling about him.
Yeah. Bit of Viking in him. Yeah.
The old Swedish Viking. Yeah, I've had that before. Yeah, especially when I had the samurai bun. I probably look like a Viking with my beard and that. Yeah. But I'm from over the pond, the Celt, not up. I'm not a Scottish Celt. I'm an Irish Celt.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, Noble's from.
You know what? I feel like I'm a Celt or something. I don't even know what I am. Where am I from? I'm a fake Irishman. I was born in England. You can call me Declan Rice.
Oh, it is what it is, mate. So yeah, so FA Cup final tomorrow. That's why there's no league games until Sunday.
There's no good teams in that FA Cup final, though, is there?
Well, same ones as the previous League Cup final, mate. And that went to so many penalties. Was it 16, 15 they took each before? I knew Liverpool going to. Penalties and Liverpool always win, and Germany. Those two teams, Liverpool and Germany, always win penalties from what I remember. And
hopefully they do it. As much as I don't really like Liverpool as much, like I love what they stand for and what they do with their fans. Half the time I can't stand their fans.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But you know what? I want them to go and do the quadruple. I really do. Well, obviously they've won the Chelsea Shield already. So that'll be 5. That'll be literally English dominant.
See, the problem I've got is I know so many London-based fans who never go to any league games, and they go to all the finals at Wembley, and I find that irritating. And
as much as they are an annoyance, I would actually like to see them win the old lot and dominate English football.
Anyway, it's been a great show. It's been 1 hour, 5 minutes. I'm not going to take any more time of your Friday evening. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, we're going to be doing new things over the summer. So I'll reach out to all of you guys, and I'm going to be changing platform a bit. So the layout will look a bit different in the next coming weeks. So any final words from anyone before we close down and let you guys enjoy your Friday evening?
Mark Noble, legend. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just showed us your backside. You don't know that, mate.
Oh, did I?
That's what we saw on the
You
screen.
want to see that, mate? No, you want to see that.
I was doing that. I don't know what. What about you, Mike H? Any final words from you over there?
No, looking forward to it Sunday. I think it's going to be very emotional. Yeah, I was just watching that bit the other night from the awards. There's something got my eye, I think, but don't know what I'm going to be like on Sunday. I admit it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I don't want to see the back of Mark Noble at all, but I just want to give him a great send off.
No, I'm hoping we'll see him on the bench at least in some.
Yeah, we want to see him back. He'll be back. He deserves a holiday. These guys, they only get 3 weeks holiday. You know, I know they get paid well, blah blah blah. But he deserves a bit of time with his family. you know, and hopefully we get him back and we'll see him again, you know, down there on the bench at least, or in some sort of West Ham colours again.
I think we'll bear in mind that when David Moyes came in, I was a bit afraid that how will he get on with Noble, because he wants someone athletic, fast, stamina. But I think he's handled it very well. They got on really well, and he's used him well, and they get on, which is important. Sometimes someone like Big Sam comes in with the big iron axe and chucks someone out. So none of that happened, and Ginge, thankfully, it all turned out well for him in the end, mate. And he's played a few games, and he's given him a lot of games at home and a few minutes, and I'm sure against City he'll come on for a bit at the end. I think
He's given Noble as much time as he could give him. Minimal, at the very minimal time that he could have gave him this season. He wanted to give him that European experience. He's got that. He wanted to give him good quality cup games to play in. He's got that. Obviously, the United game when he brought him on and he missed a penalty, he won't want to remember that one. But had that had gone in, the absolute scenes around the club and for this season.
Well, if we get one on the weekend, should we bring him on? What do you think? I don't think they're going to.
Why not? Why not? Even if it's a tight game.
Actually, that's another one. Why didn't they let Ben Rama take the penalty at Norwich? I don't know.
Because they don't want to see him do well, do they?
No, we had the game reasonably.
He's Moyes' new little scapegoat.
I don't know. I think it would have been nice Ben Rama get a hat trick.
Yeah. I think it would have done the world it would have
done him good.
Yeah.
Definitely. Anyway, thank you again, gentlemen. God bless you all. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. And Mike, we're definitely going to do the fantasy show Monday. Definitely going to, because it's looking interesting. It's been mental, mate. So a lot of things have changed. So yeah, we'll do it. We might even do it.
Jazz, if you find of anyone that's got a ticket for Sunday, let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know, mate. Let you know. Take care, everyone.
Up the
Right now.
Nobly.